All right, so those of you who have been on this channel for even the shortest amount of time, you probably get that my attitude towards trail running and ultra running is one of someone who's inclusive. Like, I want more people to try it. I want people to push themselves. I want people to step outside their comfort zones, overstep the fear, and just try it. You don't have to run, 100 miles a week to do this. You don't have to be genetically a freak to do this. And that's kind of been my goal for 10 years, is to try to explain to people, like, look, people who do this are not superheroes. I know some people like to make people think they are. And I'm getting to my point here. There's very few things that really get under my skin when it comes to running, especially ultra running. And one of them is definitely snobbery. I cannot stand snobbery, because most of the time it comes from people who don't really have any leg to stand on when it comes to claiming anything or giving other people hard times by calling them slow, things like that. Now, the people that are those people typically are not like that, especially in distance running. They're not somebody who's going to call someone out, call someone slow, do that type of behavior. It's especially in trail running. Ultra running is mostly about challenging yourself and the journey, the atmosphere, the people. Road running, and I don't want to beat up on road running because I started in road running. You typically see that in shorter distances because everyone can run, and I mean everyone who tries 5Ks, 10Ks, half marathons, marathons. Those are achievable distances by people. So then what do people do? Because they want to separate themselves. The people who run marathons don't like that slow people run marathons, because then somehow it takes away from them. And this is the attitude I've seen over the years. Even with 5Ks, 10Ks, half marathons, but especially the marathon distance, people get butthurt that people that run a 5-hour marathon claim to be marathoners, and you got the people that are running sub threes or mid threes. I don't think that too many people sub threes. Those people are, actually very fast and are worried about themselves. They're not worried about that everyone else is doing it. But you start getting that sub 4 category, you get people that have a huge ego and they don't like being grouped with. And this is a general term. This is what I've seen over my running career for a very long time. So this is my non-scientific information gathering. But typically the snobbery comes from people that come from the road who measure everything by speed. Who's the fastest? And they try to bring that into ultra running. And it's not cool. It's really not cool. It's about covering the distance. And I know there are people out there that get all hyped up, and I want people to be challenged. And if that was what challenges you, and you want to podium and place, there's nothing wrong with wanting to be competitive. And I'm not saying that. It's when it spills over to you basically shit talking people online. That's where I kind of get wrapped around a wheel. So this morning on one of the ultra running Facebook groups, I had somebody kind of say, this was the post. I'll go ahead and read it. I won't call names out because I don't like dragging people. It's attitudes that I'm more. It's not the people. I love the people. All runners. I love all the runners. It's the attitudes around surrounding this stuff. So someone posted, anyone have experience with kind of just showing up to races, not really having trained, and do fine? I've done 2 marathons and a 50K Spartan Ultra, and all I really did was slow down on drinking a bit and did all right. 4 hours on my last marathon which was a few months ago. I signed up for 100K through Zion just because I'm actually taking this a tad bit more seriously, averaging 20-ish miles a week with high volume weight training. I see these people putting in crazy miles, and I just don't have time for that, for all that. My theory is I keep my heart rate in zone 2 and stay consistent with my carb electrolyte intake come race day. Anyone have kind of a similar effort, we'll see what happens approach? I'd love to hear about it. Cheers. So I can see on the surface why someone may have a problem with this, because for the people who get super serious, they're all goggensed up, and they're new. So the person who I'm getting ready to respond to, you can tell they're new. They've only run 2 ultras. They run a 12-hour race and a 50K. The 50K was a small 50K, and they came in like tied for second with a bunch of people. It was still over 5 hours for the 50K. So it wasn't like a 3:30 or anything. These aren't elite times. But again, I don't care about that. But to have someone comment on that, I like this because this is kind of the Yeti runner way. This is they have a base. They don't look to beat any records. They just want to go out and have fun and race. And there are a ton of people that do that, and it's completely okay. Where I have the problem is that people who think that's not okay. That if you're not giving 100% all the time, running, dipping yourself in a frozen lake and then running 50 miles every day, like that somehow you're not a legitimate person that needs to be running and they get called slow. I can tell you that no one normal runs ultra marathons. There is no average person that runs an ultra marathon. Everyone who decides to run one is above average because most people are sitting on the couch. And what I don't think there's any room for in this sport is snobbery and calling people slow or shaming people for not trying as hard as you. Mind your business. Mind your business. People want to do what they want to do, and it's completely fine. Do I think people should train properly and take care of their body? Yes. Am I going to tell everyone what to do? No. I give suggestions. People can do what they want. They're grown-ups. They can enjoy the sport the way they want to. People that have a base or genetic freaks can get away with running 20-something miles a week and go out and just mid-pack it, backpack it, just have fun, shoot the crap, talk to people, eat food, drink a beer here and there, take a shot of a fireball. It's their race. It's their life. That's trail running. It all comes together. It's the same with marathons. There's a lot of people who are the same with marathons, but then it's the people who get butthurt about the other people because they don't want to be grouped in as like, I've accomplished way more than them, and I don't like them being associated with me because I try hard. It's nonsense, man. That's 5-year-old. This dude actually challenged me to a race to see who's faster, which is... So this guy responds, 4 hours is a very slow marathon. That was his first sentence. If your goal is to tell people you ran far and show off rewards, then enjoy being average. Most people running an event operate like this. Us people will continue to put in crazy miles and not sign up for events we don't plan on putting maximum effort into. And that was his comment. And you could tell in an ultra running group that that's going to go over like a lead weight. And I couldn't let this one go. I said, there's the road running snobbery we all love, which I always comment when anybody says anything about speed and shaming someone else. If you are fast and you want to talk about it, it's awesome. And I told him he shouldn't be out here talking smack about 4 hours being slow when you've only ever run a 12-hour race, 50 miles in 12 hours, and a 50K in 5:03. 4 hours is not slow. So it's not like they went out and ran an 8-hour 50 mile. Like, what are we doing? Like, why is this an issue? Why do people feel the need to shame someone? Let people do what they want to do when it comes to racing ultras. They're not hurting you. And I could tell the guy's new, and I probably read a Goggins book or two, and it's coming in sideways on people, wanting to be inspiration. I went to his Facebook page, and, he's well-intended. He wants to challenge people. He wants people to step outside their comfort zone, but you don't get there by trying to Goggins everybody, especially when you are new to the sport. I get it. I get when you're new to something and you're on fire and you're motivating yourself through all this self-talk and you're running with your shirt off when it's 20 degrees and trying to emulate people that you read about. Some people do that to motivate themselves. That doesn't motivate everybody. There are people out there that are so nonchalant about trail running that will beat the brakes off of anyone out there that's like that. They're just out there having fun, just doing their thing. That's what's great about the sport is everyone can do what they want to do. It's about challenging yourself, and they're out there having a good time. And when I see this stuff online, don't be this guy. I mean, it's just funny. Everyone just starts beating him up, calling him bozo, and it is what it is. We all do this. There are times where we're less, let's say, there's times where we probably could have trained more in these ultras, am I right? And we could have done much better. But we go out and we have a good time. We pay for it. We were a little more in the pain cave. Takes a little longer to recover, but we had a good time. And this guy talks about running scared for 2.5 hours, not letting anybody pass him and trying to pass people, and just nonchalant, on his Facebook page talking about a top 3 finish. My first ultra marathon, meh. But what the real hard part was, racing people in the middle of the race, and then trying to play it off with this kind of what do you call it? Trying to be humble, but you're not. You're braggadocious about it, but you're trying to pretend you're humble. Don't be that guy, man. Have fun out there. If you're out there stressed about being the mid-packer, trying to pass people, is it fun? Yeah. We call it roadkill, and it's fun to try to catch people. But and not in any kind of mean way. Because if you've been around the sport long enough, you could pass someone at the halfway point, and they come flying by you at the end of the race. Just be humble, be kind, help one another, encourage one another. That's what ultra running is about. That's what ultra marathons are about. For the few that are making their livelihood on this, and they're very serious out there, and you're taking it serious for racing purposes, meet those people. They're still chill people. I mean, look at all the top. Courtney DeWalter, could you meet a more chill person? She will beat the brakes off of anybody at almost any distance in ultra running. And she is the nicest, kindest, sweetest, most humble person. She's not out here crap talking, trying to position herself to get attention. She just gets attention by being good and being kind and being a nice human being. Have fun. Be kind. That's it. It's Friday. Let's have a good weekend. I'll talk to you soon. Take care.